Later on, we'll be talking about storm damage with our friends from Stormmaster. But before that, we're going to talk about an event coming up in the not too distant future, and that is the Michigan Antique Festival in Midland. And with us from the festival is Matt Edens this morning. Matt, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Glad to have you with us. How many years for the Michigan Antique Festival?
Oh boy, this has been a Michigan tradition since 1968, so it's been going on for a very long time.
Yeah, I guess that's quite a while. And how many times a year are you doing it in Midland?
So this event we end up doing a spring show and a fall show. So our spring show is coming up next weekend, which is May 30th and 31st at the Midland County Fairgrounds, and that's also one of our largest events we do the season. Kind of kicks off the antiquing season for everybody, and everyone's welcome to come out and get some shopping going.
And we've never lost the luster for antiquing, have we? It's still popular.
It is so popular, and it's not just antiquing. These items, they're really a snapshot at history. So you have a chance to take this item home, give it some new life, pass it on to the rest of your family, and each piece has a story behind it. And you're really curating your house with all these different stories that talk to you, and you're keeping that spark of history alive by buying these and decorating your home with them.
Yeah, you know what's wrong with that, don't you? You go to an
What's
antique
that?
show and you see all the things you used to own. Going, gee, I wish I had that today.
Yeah, yep, that's true. A lot of the younger generations now getting into it as well, which is really nice, seeing this new resurgence of life and enthusiasm behind it, where people grew up and they saw, well, maybe this is something we saw at grandmother's house, and it brings back that memory of childhood growing up, and now they want to bring it home and share that with their family and their kids, and we're seeing that being passed on, and it's really a beautiful thing.
So you mentioned this is one of the larger shows. So tell us what to expect when we get there.
Yeah, so this is the largest antique festival in the state of Michigan. So when you come in, you're going to see 5 buildings just jam packed with dealers. There's going to be over 30 tents, also full of dealers out in the fields. There's going to be live music. Over 30 food vendors will be there, food trucks. There's a car show. So if you want to bring your ride out, I tell everybody, if you want the best parking at the show, bring out that classic car. You get to park right in the car show area. Registration's free, and you get a chance to win some prizes. So there's plenty to see. Probably the biggest thing I tell everybody is wear comfy shoes, because this encompasses the entire fairgrounds. It's going to be 80 acres that you're going to be walking and
Wow.
seeing all these things, yeah, bringing everything to life. And just know it's going to take you all day, if not 2 days, to see everything.
That's a lot. That is a lot. So let's talk, when we first get there, let's talk about parking. Where do we do that?
Oh, well, the fairgrounds has multiple entrances, so you can come either Airport Road or Eastman Avenue entrance. Parking is free. It's just $10 for a weekend pass. Children 12 and under, they're also free. So, come on out, spend the weekend with us. We have people that even camp here, and they'll come Friday and spend 3 days with us. So, and you're more than welcome.
And costs?
It's just $10 admission, and that's for a weekend pass.
That include parking?
It does. Parking's always
So
free
that's
here.
everything then. That's
That's everything.
that's pretty reasonable for this. I know how big it is. I've been there, and it's a huge show. And a lot of your vendors are returning folks too, aren't they?
It's amazing. We have such a great group of vendors that come out and make this event happen. We have people that come from all over the country. So there's people from Wisconsin and New York. They're going to be bringing items out to showcase them for you to come out and see and hopefully take home and make it a piece of treasure that you can share with your family going forward.
And you mentioned also there is a fall show too. Is that right?
Yes, there is the fall show in September 26th and 27th. So if you can't make this one, just know we always have the one in September as well.
We'll talk to you before that anyway. The question I have, we ran up against this. My late wife had bought something at the show. It was a rocking chair, but she couldn't carry it to her car. Is there any way to get help moving your purchases?
Of course, I would say the busiest tent at this event would be the portering tent. So don't think that any item's too big to take out. We have professional charity that works there, and all they do all day is put items on golf carts and take them out to your car and help you load them, help you strap them down. That they're going to be here
No
all weekend,
kidding.
and that's all they do.
Well, that's a whale of a service.
They're very busy.
Because,
Those guys work very hard out here.
yeah, because you walk around that show, I mean, and there are items that you can put in your pocket, but there's also items that you need a cargo trailer for. So
It is. Yeah, the trailer is real. They'll be out there hauling trailers. You'll see bedroom sets, dressers, you name it. And that's probably the most fun of this event is just seeing all the items out here that people are buying and taking home. And there's items that you wouldn't even know existed. So, and that's part of the beauty as well is you're getting a history lesson because you might see something that one dealer has and you're like, what is that? And that the dealer will sit there and educate you and tell you about it, the history of it. And maybe it's something that speaks to you that you want to incorporate in your life.
yeah. The other thing too, part of the car show, there are dealers with car parts, aren't there?
There is. We have a huge automotive swap meet area. So if you have any classic rides, they're missing a piece of the puzzle, come on out. These guys are probably going to have it or know somebody that will. And this is a great place to shop and get a very good deal on different items, automotive related or antique related.
So in reality, you know, we call it a Michigan Antique Festival, but it's a multi-show type thing, isn't it? There's multi-shows. There's shows within the show, and it all isn't covered in that one $10 fee.
It really is. And we even have a building that we call just the Taste of Michigan building, and there'll be all of the different people, showcasing homemade honey, jams, just you name it, cookies, baked goods. And it's all from local businesses, local artisans, and it's their chance to get out and showcase what they can do and spread this to everyone in Michigan who wants to come out and make this part of their family tradition.
I know where I'd spend most of my time. Sounds too good to be true. Well, again, Matt, let's tell everybody again about the hours.
So it's May 30th and 31st. Saturday is from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's just $10 to get in. Children 12 and under are free. Parking is free, and that gets you a weekend pass to come out and spend some time with us, and hopefully you get a chance to take home a treasure.
And I do want to touch on one thing, and that's traffic, because it can be a bear getting in and out of the fairgrounds. Which entrances do you recommend people use?
I would say the airport road entrance is probably the easiest one to get in and out just because you can get back onto Eastman M10 from that exit. So
right.
That one's a good one.
Yeah, because if you take the main one, it can really jam up a lot.
It's very busy. I guess Midland comes to life when this event is here.
Boy, isn't that the truth. All right, Matt. Well, look, we wish you well with it. Maybe we'll see you out there, and we'll look forward to talking to you again in the fall, too. Good luck with the spring festival, though.
Great. Can't wait to see you. Hope you come out.
All right. We'll look for you. Thanks. Take care now. Matt Edens. He is with the Michigan Antique Festival, and it's coming up the weekend of, the last weekend of May. So put it down on your calendar. Coming up, we're going to talk about storms and storm damage with our friends from Stormmaster. That'll be coming up after this break. But let me ask how you slept last night, because today you're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can, not. And if I were you, I would sleep on this mattress because, while your time in bed may be cut short in the demanding world we live in, you can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. They feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. And by the way, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Stop in and visit them. Sanitary Mattress Factory Showroom, 5343 James Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them online at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 1935.
Veterans and active duty service.
Hi, welcome back. The Art Lewis Show, and we have some special guests with us. We're going to talk about storm damage and what to do and how to do it when it happens. From our friends at Storm Master, who are our studio sponsors and on-air sponsors. The guy that's behind the whole thing, Gene Therian. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well, Gene. Good to see you. Who'd you bring with you?
We brought Jason Van Hoy with us.
And Jason is...
I'm a customer solutions. That's my job title. For about 25 years, I used to be an insurance claims adjuster up until last June, and then I came
now
on board.
Now you go and fight with him.
Not necessarily. My part of my job is to help us expand into the insurance side of things and negotiate with the adjusters. Primarily, help our customers make sure they get taken care of the right way, and everybody is happy at the end.
Well, that gives you the advantage, too, because you've been inside it, so you know how it thinks.
Yep. Yeah,
Sorta.
I definitely have been inside it many times. Sometimes I wondered how long it was going to last.
You've done some major issues around the country, haven't you?
Yeah, I handled about 5 hurricanes. The 2 biggest ones were Ike and Francine. I've been all over the country. I've been to about 20 states, almost all the southern states, Texas. I did handle the Tennessee wildfires when Gatlinburg burned down. And then I also I've been to the northern states, Wisconsin, Minnesota, for tornadoes and a lot of hail events.
Wow. So, Gene, we recently came through a series of storms in the region. How bad was it? Because, you get the calls from people who say, oh, I got damage this, damage that, damage the other thing. How bad was it?
It hit pretty good right in our own backyard, right inside of Freeland. And that storm seems to have stretched all the way to Lake Huron. So we got some good sizable damage in irregular places across southern Freeland. Unionville got hit real hard. We haven't been out there. Our target market is the Tri-Cities. So.
And mostly wind damage or other?
Oh, hail.
Oh, hail, really?
Oh, yeah, hail in the
Hail can
roofing
be
industry, we
hail
call
can
that
be-
roofer's gold.
Really?
When hail comes out of that sky, man, it does damage. Not enough to make a roof leak most times. 90+% times it doesn't do damage that creates that kind of emergency that we really need to have, people knocking on doors the day of the event, trying to do massive cleanup, fake operations. But it definitely compromised the majority of roofs in southern Freeland, and
Well,
we
what
don't know
if they
how.
don't leak, what does it do to them? Does it beat up the asphalt or?
Oh, my friend here, Jason, he is HAG certified. He is very highly trained to be able to understand every single concept of hail.
So if hail comes down and I go on my roof, what am I going to see?
If it fractures the mat, you'll see little black dots or big dots if the hail's of substantial size. And what hail does is it doesn't cause your roof to leak, but the damage will lessen your shingles age. So in other words, your roof will age faster.
It sounds to me like if I'm seeing black spots, it's knocking off the grit or the stone.
Right. It
breaks
also
it down?
Yeah, it'll leave an indentation in the matting of the asphalt shingle. So they'll if you put your finger on it, you'll feel a little divot, like a golf hole. Like a golf divot on the green or something.
When that happens, Gene,
Yes.
can you go up on a roof and just replace those shingles that are damaged, or do you have to do a whole section?
No, I think this is where we agree with the insurance companies is when that slope is hit, it compromised just about everything on that slope. So when they do go out, they do test squares, and they're usually pretty favorable of where they put them, but they're looking for damage in that spot, and once they confirm it, that whole slope is smoked. right? So it will take off life expectancy.
So dealing with insurance companies, which you seem to know something about, Jason. If I have let's say I put on a high quality roof, even though I don't believe when they say 30 and 40 and 50 years, because you never get that out of them. But as opposed to a 15-year roof, and I go to my insurance company and I say, look, I had damage. Are they going to put my high-end roof back on, or are they going to try and sell me a low-end shingle?
Most insurance policies are dictated by the state of Michigan. So if you were to like take different policies from different carriers and read them, they're pretty much the same. The insurance company's biggest job is to make you whole again. So what they'll tell you is, as an adjuster, I would always say we owe to put you back the way you were pre-loss condition. So they would technically, the insurance company owes for the same quality of roof product you had on your roof, same kind of gutters, same kind of siding. That's their goal. Now, most customers choose to make changes. It's their house. That's fine. The insurance companies will say, well, then you would have to pay that difference out of pocket.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but most of us, when we talk about insurance, our feeling is that company is looking to give me the least they can possibly give me. True?
Yeah, that is probably the most common thing I heard as an adjuster. You guys are out here to make my life difficult, and honestly, they're out there to do a job. They're just trying to make you whole again. They don't, your policy is a contract, is the way that I would word it with the homeowner and customer. You signed a contract with this carrier to reimburse you or help you in times that you can't afford to take care of it yourself. So, within that contract or any contract, there's certain gives and takes. So that's kind of where you got to go through the coverages. And if you're doing your job as an adjuster, you can ease people's minds that way.
The other side of this in disasters is dealing with FEMA and the government. What's that like, Gene?
Luckily, I haven't had the
okay
the experience.
Jason,
on that
what's
one.
it like dealing with
I actually, personally, I was part of the Midland floods back in 2020
Yep,
when dams broke.
2020.
So I did have to deal with FEMA for assistance. It wasn't too bad. They were pretty responsive. But there is a lot of stuff you got to do before they help you out. So, but, because of the situation, they really didn't bring anybody in. They handled a lot of stuff over the phone, and I had to provide information for them, which I guess is okay. But I do know prior people that worked for FEMA that came over to be adjusters, and they would tell me all their stories about how they had to go in and inspect. And so I kind of viewed FEMA as a big insurance company owned by the government.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I ended up figuring it out.
The way I've always looked at it, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, but the way I've always looked at it, they want to make sure, hopefully, that our tax dollars are spent properly. So they do want to come in and make sure the damage is what's claimed. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem. What I have a problem with is how long it takes sometimes for that to get done. That could be a real process. You're shaking your head like
it was a process. I had to put some of my own finances up first before I could get some stuff, as a down payment to get things scheduled, and then they were a little more quicker, I think, because of the situation with all the flooding. They kind of
this was a disaster.
Yeah, they sped it up.
Yeah, which was good.
So, but yeah, you do have to wait, and you wonder sometimes. You're like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah. We're going to take a break, come back. We're talking to Jason and Gene from Storm Masters, and we'll talk a little bit about selecting a contractor and all those good things when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
Are you overdue for...
Funny thing about that, Storm Masters sitting here, the owner, Gene Therian, and also Jason is with us. And, okay, so we go through a disaster like the big storms we just had and the hail and all of that. I'm looking for a contractor. How do I pick one?
Start
Because
with
I'm going to
local.
get an onslaught of, hey, we can save you.
Yeah, start with real local, not people that claim to be local. And local means, and a good way to check is see what kind of local sponsorships that they are attached to. So look at their Facebook pages, look at their advertisements, and look back behind the marketing and see really where they're from.
I also might want to know where their office is.
Oh, absolutely. And if it's a P.O. box, or if you look up the office and you find out it's an apartment building or somebody's house or, some temporary rented place, yeah, please stay local.
So let me ask this, Gene.
Yes.
In Michigan, to call yourself a contractor, do you need a license?
Arguably. My opinion is builder's license. If somebody really wants to get one, sarcastically, I say you can find them in Cracker Jack boxes. But the reality is you can take a 60-hour online class and you can get and be awarded your builder's license. Right? So, here's my offense is to builders. Licensing is, to cut men's hair. Each person inside that salon has to have their license individually.
Right.
But in contracting, you need one person with a license, the whole company operates, and then any subcontractors that they use, let me throw in 92% of contractors inside of our country use subcontractors. It's very rare to find one that refuses to do so, but these subcontractors, they don't need to have licenses because they're pulling off of the main contractor's license.
So, if you're a contractor and you don't use subs, that means you're employing all the kinds of subs you need yourself.
That's correct.
They're captive.
Correct.
It's an expensive way to run a business, but you know what kind of quality they're delivering.
It's the proper way.
Yeah.
We treat people like people at Storemaster Exteriors, and we're very proud of that.
So you don't, it would seem to me it would be expensive to keep a guy on who specializes in laying tile, for example. You might have to get a sub for something like that. But do you have certain organizations you work with, I would think?
Yes. Yes, we do. We have a network of other like-minded companies that we do work with. That's
you
correct.
vetted them, you know how they work and everything.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, Jason. I have damage to my house. I call Stormmaster and they send you out to do the assessment of the damage. And now I'm going to deal with my insurance company. Can I tell my insurance company who's going to do the work? I knew what you were going to say. It depends.
It depends on whether you want us to do it or not. We treat our inspections is we do a little bit of a process. Okay, I'll come out and meet with you and just do a quick assessment to see if there's any damages worth filing a claim on, because you don't want to file a claim unless you have to. You don't. Yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it too. I don't want to do that either as a homeowner and an auto owner. So if there is substantial damage, we would recommend you contact your insurance company and let them send out their adjuster to make an assessment and determine what the insurance company is willing to cover and not cover. Sometimes some things are covered, sometimes they're not. We are happy to meet that adjuster. In the meantime, if you truly want us to do the work, we have a contingency agreement we have you sign as a placeholder to put you on our list of getting the work done.
So my question is this, though. I have that damage. I called Gene because I know Gene. I know his company. I want Gene to do the work. Now I got to deal with my insurance company. Can I tell them Gene is doing the work?
Yes, you
period.
You can actually do the work yourself. Homeowners.
No, I can't.
No, I'm just saying contractors that own their own property. But yeah, if once you tell them who's doing the work, that's great. So then what I would do is come out and do a full inspection before the insurance company and do our documentation and process and have our stuff ready to go. So when your adjuster comes to the house, we can just talk and get everything moving forward at a quicker pace.
Yeah. I learned my lesson about the do-it-yourself stuff. A few years ago, I don't know if I told you this, Gene. A few years ago, I decided that the old vinyl in my kitchen had to go, and I wanted to put tile down. So I went on YouTube. There you go, and I watched all the videos on laying tile, and I figured, piece of cake, I can do this. 5 days, I'll be done. I took a week off. First thing that happened, we took up the vinyl. You have to realize my house is 150 years old, plus additions, which were never done to code, the old farmers. And the kitchen had a bit of a swale to it. So the first thing I had to learn was, I got to level my kitchen floor. I had to put down leveling stuff. And the next thing I learned is cement board isn't light. The next thing I learned was how bad it was being on your knees all day laying this tile.
Mm-hmm.
A 5-day job took me 2.5 months. I taught myself that I'll never be a do-it-yourselfer again in home repair. Not an unusual story, though, I'm sure. A lot of people learn the lesson the hard way. So that's why Genes of the world are here.
On that, Art, if I can add in this, I just did an interview with Chamber of Commerce a couple days ago, and one of the questions they asked me is, what's different about StoreMaster from all your competitors? And I've been thinking about that, and I think the reality is we're not a sales-based company. We're a production-based company. Our product that we bring to the market is not shingles. It's not the siding. It's not the windows. It's not the materials. We don't make any of that.
It's the labor.
Our product is our craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a company that's not the product, then you're the product. So we go out and sell, we consult, and we're taking orders and requesting and helping guide people through the menu, right? Just like a restaurant, and then we take it back to our cooks. We don't subcontract that out.
Yeah.
That's subcontracting trust. So that is the product that we sell is our installers.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Gene, you only do the outside of the house, whether it's siding, anything on the outside of the house. Why don't you do interior?
See, when the company originally started back in 2003, I've been doing this 23 years now. So we're celebrating our 15-year anniversary as StoreMaster Exteriors this June 24th is 15 years. Hats off.
Yeah.
But the company before, we were construction and carpenter by trade, not roofer, turned into roofer. But
you did interior back then, though.
Yep. Kitchens, bathrooms, remodels, additions, pole barns, garages.
What made you choose not to do that now?
It was so complicated. Having that many services, that many trades, trying to stock that many people, that it would have been a lot easier just to have a sub-network and continue that route, but that is not the intentions that we had. So we went exterior route with the intentions of professionalizing our business and showing the way on how to professionalize others.
So when you say exterior, if I start at the roof, you do roof, of course, roofing.
Yes.
Gutters.
Yep.
Siding.
Correct.
Do you do windows?
Absolutely.
Doors? You
Yeah.
do? Okay, so if I can see it from the outside of the house, you can do it,
Correct.
basically.
Yes.
Which really, it took me a while to realize that with the name StoreMaster. And I kept saying, well, they do everything? What do they do? And then I started to realize if I can see it on the outside, you can do it. But don't ask you to come in my house.
Hey, we're the cladding on the outside of the
Yeah,
home.
I got it.
And if we master that storm on the outside of that home, you'll never have it on the inside.
That's good. All right, we'll take a break, come back, finish up with our guests.
The Memorial Day weekend.
Back with you, talking about storm damage from the recent storms and how to react to it with Gene Therian. He owns StoreMaster Exteriors. And Jason is with him, too, and he does a lot of the assessments of the damage. Whatever happened to the phrase, how did they put it? An act of God. You used to get insurance policies. Well, we won't cover an act of God. If it fell out of the sky, it was an act of God. Is that gone now, or do they still have those policies?
I believe it's gone. Most weather-related events, wind and hail, are covered. And
Flood would be the exception because you have to have flood insurance and a floodplain. Is that
yeah,
typical?
correct. That is a governmental requirement. It used to be sold by the government, but I believe they have started to privatize that, and you can get that through your carriers. But there are
Probably
certain.
the most expensive insurance.
It
you
is
could
not.
buy.
It is expensive, but it also you have to qualify for
Yeah.
it. So you have to look at the.
You have
they
to
have a
know
map.
where you live, yeah.
If you live by a river, a lake, that
The,
kind of
the act of God pretty well is gone. We don't see it much anymore.
Right. As far as my several decades of being an adjuster in the industry, we always paid for wind and hail. That's act of God. That's weather. So,
Gene, how long does it take? You know, you have a storm went through Freeland. We'll use that as an example, and there were homes that were damaged. From the time they call you to the time you can actually get out there and do the work, how long in these kinds of situations?
That answer is going to be contingent, and the contingency is the time that the homeowner calls us, where they're sitting in the insurance process. We prefer to have it right in the beginning, before the adjusters got out there. If the adjuster has been out there, we can still help as well, but it's a lot easier for both parties, so we can have the forward recon on the house, have the pictures, have the information ready. So when we're working with the adjuster, which, you know, I love Jason to death. I've known him since CMU. We both went to college together. We've known each other for decades. But not every adjuster is fully skilled and trained on roofing
Right.
install. So we compare notes, and it goes so much smoother, but you're still talking about 30 days.
Yeah. I was curious, Jason, if you don't get to the house before the adjusters do, how often do you have to go back to the adjuster and say, well, this part of it was okay, but you forgot this, this, and this?
it happens a lot. It's just part of the insurance process. It's a negotiation, give and take. Some adjusters, you may get someone that just started their career, or you may have someone that's on their way out. It's just everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. And I'll be honest, a lot of insurance professionals, they don't know all the intricacies that a exterior contractor knows. Certain little things get missed all the time. That's usually where those differences is in the little things, the details. And my goal now is to get those details caught up front, so then I don't have to go back and ask them later.
Yeah. All right, so Gene, if somebody needs the services of StormMaster, how do they get more information and how do they find out about you?
Oh, StormMasterExteriors.com or call us 989-488-4846 and sign up, and we'll come out at a convenient time and we'll do the assessment and we'll meet with you. And
how big a region do you cover?
We've been trying to stay inside the Tri-City since the day we were born.
Okay, Saginaw Bay, Midland, pretty much.
Saginaw Bay, Midland, that's where most of us are born and raised. That's where our kids go to school. That is where we live our lives.
And where you contribute to the community, too, because
Absolutely.
StormMaster's been a good corporate citizen.
It is our home.
Gene, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Art.
Appreciate it. Jason, pleasure.
Thank you.
I know who to call if I got a fight with my insurance company. And we thank our guests. We thank you for being with us. We'll be back to close out, tell you what's ahead. All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Back tomorrow from Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center. And Ernie Krieger will be along for a couple hours with us. Questions about appliance repair, you know how to get a hold of him. It'll be tomorrow on the Art Lewis Show. Meanwhile, stick around. Ken Buck from Buck Insurance will be along right after the news from CBS and the local report with Michael Percha. All of that coming up. I'm Art Lewis. We'll talk to you right after the news.
Broadcasting from the